Let's talk to Debbie in Tunbridge Wells. Now, Debbie, I think we've spoken before, haven't we? Because you run a care home finder service, am I right?
Yes, that's right. We have spoken before. Hello again.
Yes, hello. But you see, if I came to you and said, you need to find me a care home, I've got £500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Could you find me one?
Not in this area, I couldn't, no. But if you're looking at £500 a week, then you are probably looking at a local authority-funded care home, and the local authority are obliged to find you one. They will find you one.
Really?
Yes.
But they don't have any care homes themselves, do they?
No, they would go to the care homes in the area, hopefully in the area where you're living, and they would have either a contract with that care home or an arrangement with that care home. Majority of care homes have a combination of local authority and self-funding clients. Yes,
I don't understand that. Why would they take on a local authority client at £500? I mean, are they? I mean, yeah. I suppose if they can fill their beds with private clients, they probably wouldn't, would they?
No, they wouldn't. If every care provider in the country, almost without exception, is looking for self-funding clients,
yes,
because that's how they make a profit. That's how they keep going.
Of course, yes.
The local authority, the statistics are that the local authority, on average, pays 10% less for a resident than the cost of looking after that resident.
Yes,
so the self-funding client are needed to balance the books.
Yes. So, but look, this is the landmine I feel we are heading for. We know that more and more of us will need care. We know that. So we've got more people going into care. We know that care homes are reluctant to take clients at £500 a week because, as you just pointed out, they're losing money on that. So as there are more clients around, and hopefully they are self-funding clients, if I was a care home owner, that's how I would feel. Yeah. Eventually, we are going to get to the point, aren't we, where the local authority cannot find a bed at £500.
I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the case. I mean, they're building an awful lot of care providers, are building a lot of care homes at the moment, and those new care homes are for self-funding clients. So I think you will find, as we have at the moment, a two-tier system where you've got the smaller, perhaps older care homes, which could still have brilliant care, taking more of the local authority clients. I would say at the moment the statistics are 56% of residents in care homes are self-funding. So it's over half of the population. Yeah.
And of course, even some of the other ones where the council is paying £500 or whatever, it could be that the family is topping that up.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, we've just heard. I've just spoken to Bruce, who's paying £1,500 a week for his wife. And then Peter, we spoke to earlier, was paying £925. So there's a lot of variation, isn't there?
There's a huge amount, and this actually goes to the core of the issue, I think. When somebody is looking for a care home, they are unaware, because they've not done it before often, they're unaware the process that needs to be gone through in order to find the right care home. And in Sevenoaks, there are a range of care homes at different prices. Yes. So £1,500 is probably the top end of the price of a care home in Sevenoaks. But when you're looking for a care home, or in fact any sort of care, you need to be in a position whereby you're making an informed choice about your care. So I think I've mentioned this to you before. There are 4 things that your listener needs to consider if they're looking for a care home. The first one is the location of the care home. Make sure it's nearest to the person who is most likely to visit.
Yes. But that means it might be in a very expensive area, like Sevenoaks.
It might be, but you can, absolutely. But that's the one area that's got a little bit of flexibility. You could maybe travel a bit further to
I get that.
a cheaper area.
Yep.
The second one is to truly understand the type of care you need, whether it's residential, nursing, dementia, or a combination of all 3. You've really got to understand that. The third thing is the price.
Yes.
So you've got to understand your funding options. And if you're self-funding, I would always say speak to an IFA, particularly a
IFA, Independent Financial Advisor, yes.
That's right. And a SOLA accredited IFA, that's Society of Later Life Advisors.
Debbie, can I just ask you, sorry to interrupt, but can I just ask you, there must be some fees being paid to your company. Who pays your fees?
Well, we actually run a free advice line.
Oh, do you?
So, yeah, we do. I'll give you the telephone number if you
Well,
like.
hang on. So let me just check this out. So how do you make any money?
Okay, so the free advice line is operated because I used to be in the position of some of your listeners today where I needed to find a care home, and I just thought somebody needs to provide this information. So people will come to us for the free advice line. We give them the information. If at the end of that, where we've given them the tools to research the care on their behalf, if at the end of that they say to us, "Oh, crikey, Debbie, thanks for all this information, but I haven't got the time to do it,"
okay,
we will do it for them, and that's a paid-for service.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, well, look, I think you can. I just wanted to check that we weren't, boosting your bank balance, so which obviously we're going to do. But if you give me the free advice line number.
Free advice line number is 01892
Yep.
335
Yep.
330.
Okay, Debbie, that's really useful. Thank you very much indeed for that. So that's 01892 335 330. It's a free advice line. Obviously, if you want Debbie to do the work for you, which you may do, you will have to pay for that. But that is free.